Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear her. I'm sorry, start again. I was standing by the bedside where my fevered mother lay. When she called me close beside her, and I thought I heard her say, I've just seen the rock of ages, a Jacob's ladder hanging down, and I've just crossed the road. Can I have one more chance?
Oh yeah. Thank you, kid.
My hat went down. Oh, that was it. I was standing by the bedside where my fevered mother lay. When she called me close beside her, and I thought I heard her say, I've just seen the rock of ages, a Jacob's ladder hanging down, and I've just crossed the river of Jordan. Oh, my son, I'm homeward bound. As we gathered all around her, tears began to fill our eyes. Then she called me close beside her, and softly whispered her goodbye. I've just seen the rock of ages, a Jacob's ladder hanging down, and I've just crossed the river of Jordan. Oh, my son, I'm homeward bound. A pine breeze blowing on the mountain, where forever she will lay. There she'll rest beside the fountain, and there she'll sleep beneath the clay. I've just seen the rock of ages, a Jacob's ladder hanging down. I've just crossed the river of Jordan. Oh, my son, I'm homeward bound. Oh, that was really bad. My guitar's out of tune, I'm sorry. I was born one stormy night. Then a hard rain started falling. Daddy died inside of mine. Mama cried, but she kept going. I quit school for a job. Mama begged me not to take a running Kentucky shine down the Harlan County Highway. Then I married Lorraine. She gave our baby my name. I can't believe it. Jack, this thing is... Okay. Still ready?
Still rolling. It's really hard to tell what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I was born one stormy night. Then a hard rain started falling. Daddy died inside of mine. Mama cried, but she kept going. I quit school for a job. Mama begged me not to take a running Kentucky shine down the Harlan County Highway. Then I married Lorraine. She gave our baby my name. And Lord, that woman tried more with each passing day. What started out as heaven got lost along the way. So I took off down the Harlan County Highway, down the Louisville, where the ponies run, where a man can turn a dollar into 100 on a hunch. He can buy his dreams or heaven for a smile. Temptation calls from every corner, 7 corners every mile, shackled to a highway call. My bones ache to keep rolling, and I'm standing in the cold with all my cards are showing. Once you start running, ain't nothing but running left to do. or a going, one of the two.
Are you on? Everybody's ready, take it in the water.
All right. Let's see what the hell's I gonna do. Okay. I better not, because the story is. And came up on this graveyard, and back in the bushes, this grave it had grown over, and I was real curious to see what the epitaph and just what it said on the. It was one of the old graves, about, you know, that had the big concrete laid over top of it, and there was an epitaph is in this song. It was on there and it stayed in my mind a long time. And it was a young girl. She was about 20 years old, and I always wondered, you know, what really went on, that and what caused her death. It was her last name was different from her parents' name, and instead of saying that it was her husband of so-and-so, it had daughter of, and it was a real strange story. Anyway, I wrote a song about it. It took me a couple of years to do it. Jesus, make up my dying bed, for I've been stung. This motherfucker, Jack. All that time wasted. Okay. All right. Jesus, make up my dying bed, for I've been stung with a kiss of death, and the cold rain falls on my window pane. Babe, I sure was proud to be your man, so remember me whenever you pass by, as you are now, so once was I, as I am now, so you will be. Prepare for death and follow me, 'cause babe, I'm gonna be waiting, sitting on top of a silver cloud. I'm gonna be an angel singing about a home that we found, and I'll kiss your cold, cold lips with a burning kiss of fire. Just remember I'm waiting, sitting on top of a silver cloud.
Welcome back to Headwaters, and I'm your host, Jack Wright, and this evening we've got a real special guest for you. You know, early on in the series we talked about all the contributions in country music and that this part of the country had played. Tonight we've got a real special guest with us, Mr. Stewart from Fort Pierce, Florida. RCA Records recording artist. And welcome to the show, Gary.
Thank you, Jack.
Gary's visiting through the area, doing a few concerts over in Pikeville and over into Wise, Virginia, and here into Hazard. And we're real glad to have you with us. Gary, you're a native of Eastern Kentucky, aren't you?
Yeah, I was born in Dunham, and I lived there till I was about 5, and I think then we moved to Pine Gap, and I lived in Pine Gap till I was about 12, and my family loaded up, went to Florida.
Okay, let's take it again, and Jack, y'all trade places. You had to cut me.
All right, yeah.
Welcome to Headwaters. Tonight we've got a real special guest, and
Well, the door slammed one more time.
let me know when you're ready, Marty. Okay. Welcome to Headwaters. I'm Jack Wright, your host, and tonight on the series we've got a real special guest, sort of a return of the native son, Mr. Gary Stewart, who's here in the studio with us. Gary happens to be here in the area, did a concert or two over in Pikeville. He's going to be playing in Wise and over in Virginia, and we're real glad to have you here on the show, Gary.
How you doing, Jack? Nice to be here, pal.
Gary, you're one of the people that we're really proud of here in the mountains. You've grown up in the mountains, and obviously it's played some role in your music, and you've had to move away, and now you've become a recording star. A lot of people all over the country know about you, heard your music, and really appreciate it. And we're real glad to have you here tonight, and I just want to introduce you to the people out there in the TV audience. Let them know a little bit about who Gary Stewart is and why he writes the special songs he does and why he does the special kind of country music that he does.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure to be on here, and I appreciate you giving me a chance to be on your show. And I've been home about, I come home about once a year now. Seems like for the last 5 years.
Sort of like a ritual, a family reunion.
Yeah. I left in 1957, and I was born in Dunham, Kentucky. Moved to Pine Gap, and I lived there till I was about 12 years old. And my father, who was a coal miner, got hurt in the mines and crippled up. So his family lived in Florida. So we pulled out and left the hills and went to Florida, and I've been living there ever since.
That was quite a change in climate, leaving the mountains, going into the flat land and the ocean.
Yeah, I left in January so I could really tell, and I rode in the back of the truck so I could tell more, you know. We had like, we left here in a pickup truck, and there was like about 5 or 6 of us kids then, and Daddy had one of those homemade campers. Like on the back.
Yeah.
And
that's before campers were in style.
Yeah. So, and we had all the furniture in the truck, and we had about like a foot of room that me and my brother and a couple of dogs laid in all the way to Florida. And I remember kept hollering, you know, when are we going to get there? When are we going to get there? It took us 3 days to get there.
Oh man, what a trip.
Had a coop of chickens tied on the tailgate.
Well, Gary, how did you first get into the music scene down in Florida, and what drove you on to really dedicate most of your life to music? Would you mind talking just a little bit about that?
I started when I was about, well, just before I left here, you know, I started singing, and never could play the guitar. I went down there, and me and my brother went out and mowed the lawn. I found a little book that showed chords, and so we took that summer the money that I made from the lawn mowing, bought a guitar, and learned my chords. And all right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can hold you all a little bit.
Rolling.
Anytime.
Okay. Gary, how did you come about just the occupation of being a musician? You know, leaving the mountains, going to Florida, and then just being a musician. How did you decide on that?
It was born in me. Because I can remember, I mean, you know, as far back as I can remember, always wanting to be, always singing or wanting to be some part of music, you know. As a kid, I'd get behind the radio and you know, we had the big old high standing radios. And I could crawl up in there and I'd do all that. And I'd make guitars and out of pasteboard and wood and all that. And when I went to Florida, I really got into it. I got into people showing me chords, and you know, I was around 13 when I really started playing, I guess. And I'd run around, get this and show me something, that and show me something, and I'd look at chord sheets and learn. And then about 15, I started playing in nightclubs in Florida, and we had a small band, teenage band, like 3 or 4 of us in the band, and one of our fathers would have to go with us because we were all underage.
Underage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go in and do that. And,
What kind of music were you doing then? Who were you listening to, and what kind of things were influencing you then?
I think most like Elvis, Jerry Lee, the rockabilly stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because I just left the mountains and I still the hillbilly boy, you know, in the big city. And the music I listened
Church
to.
music had a lot to do with it? Is that
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I tell you, it's Chuck Berry, man.
Yeah,
Chuck
yeah.
Berry, Lord. Remember that?
Down in Florida, did they have any of those all-black music stations that ran? Did you ever listen to any of those? I know.
John R. is out of Nashville. You know.
WLAC.
Yeah.
I listened to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As kids, man, just, you know, loved that stuff. Jimmy Reed and all that. I was influenced by all that. And, hey, I've always loved all kinds of music, so, but my biggest influence, I guess, was Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, and Claude Ely.
Claude Ely, brother Claude Ely.
Yeah.
And the Cumberland Ranger and the Cumberland Fourth.
Wow.
They were real popular here in the mountains. I know occasionally you can still buy a record of theirs over the, what was the label? I forget the label now.
King, I've got a
King,
record
that's right.
on King. Mrs. Whitaker.
Over in
East Jenkins, yeah. I've been hunting for that for a long time. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. You know, I wanted it because I collect records. And I remember that one as a kid and hearing him sing over the radio, all the 15-minute programs like they used to be on the mountains here before, you know, all the records. And,
right.
I remember when the radio station went to records. Said, no more live radio, we're going to have all records now.
That was a sad day for a lot of us who were musicians back then. Of course, I was too young for that, but you probably were too. But
yeah.
Now it seems like it's a real treat when you get to hear somebody live over radio or television. Yeah. Well, Gary, tell us a little bit about how you first got to Nashville and how you got your first breaks down there. I know a lot of people remember you for some of your first hits. I've Got This Drinking Thing and She's Acting Single. I'm Drinking Double. Some really fine songs that what came out about 74 or 75. But go ahead and talk just a little bit how you got into that whole career situation down there.
I was playing in Okeechobee, Florida, and Mel Tillis, this was before Mel started recording big. He was a writer, and he was born and lived down around Florida, around this neighborhood where I was playing, you know. And he was living in Nashville at the time, and he came down there one night when I played, and I was playing in the band, and he heard me and said that the way, he says, if you want to do something with your music, says writing is the best thing to do, and says you'll get something done if you have any talent besides singing everybody else's songs. So I started writing, and I went to Nashville, and I started as a writer. And this was in about, I think about 1965, I started doing that. And I recorded a song for a teenage, not a teenage label, but I was doing teenage music, one of these teenage triangle things.
Mm-hmm.
And, but Mel Tillis was the one that got me to, into Nashville, I guess what you might say. Got me really started and gave me the inspiration.
So that's, you went into, did you start working at Bradley's Barn at first, or where did you go first? When you,
I started writing, and I was writing for a publishing company, and the publishing company owned Bradley's Barn. And I started working at Bradley's Barn while writing, and at night I was working in a recording studio, Bradley's Barn, doing setups, setting up microphones, and making coffee, just in putting tape on the machines, the whole thing. And I got to
learn it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Well, what was your first hit, and then when did you go on the road with a band?
I recorded I See the Want To in Your Eyes and Drinking Thing on a session, and I think it was about, what year is this? 79.
79.
It's about,
almost 80.
Yeah, about 72. I think it was about 72. It was many years past since then. But I See the Want To in Your Eyes. We put that out, my first record for RCA, and nothing really happened. And
Sort of died out.
Died out, and they flipped it over and started playing the other side and put it out, and it was Drinking Thing, and that's the one that really got me.
Yeah, that's the one a lot of people remember you for and know you for.
Yeah.
And that led to what, Gary?
Me going on the road and getting out. I went to Texas, and I was playing in San Antonio. I was going around to radio stations just by myself, getting to know the disc jockeys and all promotional stuff. And Charlie Pride's band members, some of them lived in San Antonio, and I played there that night, and they got up and played with me, and we just got talking, and they mentioned that Charlie's piano player was leaving, and if there was a spot open, says, you know, says, we'll get you in and all that. And sure enough, I was in Florida. A couple of weeks later, Charlie called me and says, come on to Texas, and we're going to try you out.
Well, you played for Charlie, and you got to, you know, be on a few shows, and you got to be on the road for a while, and then finally you broke away from Charlie, went on your own.
Yeah.
And how's it been since then, you know? Yeah, I know you've got a record coming out real soon, your latest record on RCA. Tell us a little bit about that and what you're doing today.
Today, for about the last 5 months, I've been recording an album. This is the longest I've ever spent on an album, and it's going to be a little bit different from all my other albums. And
you've got a new producer.
I got a new producer, and so the record will have an all, you know, new sound, but it'll still be me. But all my records, I've always, each album has been a little bit different from the other, and hey, as time changes,
you change, you grow
change,
musically, yeah.
And if you stand still, you know, some people can do it. I mean, you know, traditional music, you know, I mean, Bill Monroe, bluegrass, all that. But in regular music, in country music or whatever nowadays, if you don't, you know, move with a tide, you know, left behind the creek.
Well, I see we've got about a minute left here. Tell me just a little bit about what you're going to be doing, and say who played on this latest album. Who backed you up?
Some pickers from Nashville, of course, studio musicians, and some friends of mine, Greg Allman and Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers Band. And so it's got a little bit of boogie-woogie,
Southern
blues,
rock,
Southern.
blues.
Got some, I got a song on there, Harlan County Highway, and it's got a little bit of everything, and we're going to have some more guests. I'm supposed to go to Nashville in a couple of days, and we're going to finish it
Well,
up.
Gary, we've really enjoyed having you on the show, and good luck with your next record, and we really appreciate you coming around.
It's been my pleasure, Jack. Thanks for having me.
Great.